No sooner than I get done uploading another video for today than the news breaks from Pennsylvania. Remember I said this in the video that you probably saw earlier today, that emissions testing was going to end in Pennsylvania, and I've been in contact and speaking to a couple of state senators there on the Democrat side. Yeah. See, this is what's crazy. The Democrats now know that this emissions thing is such a scam and it's costing them seats. And if it's in areas like Pennsylvania, in the liberal areas where there's Democrats and the Democrats are voting to end emissions testing, the climate scam is over. Guys, before I get into today's video, we have to talk about the giveaway here on the channel. We currently have the 1969 Dodge Charger with the Hellcat swap coming to an end here on the 17th with insane amount of extra entries that are up right now. It was up for the first 5 orders. There are 2 remaining, 3 sold yesterday. And the same thing, there is a couple of different packages that are up that either combined the 69 Charger and the 3500 diesel, or the 69 Charger and the Dodge Viper truck. All of that stuff can be found out, and you can learn more at the link in the description down below, tksgarage.bigcartel.com. Once they sell out, it will say sold out on those, and the extra entries on those individual items will fall off. Anyways, let's get into today's video. Look, man, you know, how many times have I said this? How many times have we talked about this where I get to say, and I told you so, right? All of the haters on the internet are like, oh, nothing's changing. Nothing's going to change, TK. Nothing's happening. Y'all look like fucking idiots right now. Look, they do not call me Petty Roosevelt for a reason. I'm going to call it out every single time. And it's crazy because I know you guys are like, well, you've been talking about this since last year. I have, and I told you guys that I said max 12 to 18 months we were going to see this entire house of cards come down. Well, we're at 13 months. North Carolina's already fallen. Boom. Pennsylvania, which I told you was coming, and the only reason why I knew it was coming is because I have interviews coming up here on the channel with actual senators from the state of Pennsylvania who are Democrats. Oh, that's not the only videos that I've done. I've also done a couple of interviews with California Assembly people who are also Democrats and want to end smog testing. No, they won't do that, TK. I told you so. Yeah, I can't wait to see what these jackass retards are gonna say now on the internet that swing from the nutsack of smog tests. Keep swinging from them balls, bro. And if the shoe fits, because someone's going to think I'm talking about them, lace that motherfucker up and wear it. Anyways, just saw this over here at WHTM. Senate passes bill to end annual emission testing in Pennsylvania. I'm going to roll the clip so you can see it in its entirety. I don't have to tell you about it. I'm going to let them tell you about it. Oh, pay close attention to the Democrats. This is a bipartisan bill. Democrats and Republicans want this shit gone because they know it's a losing proposition. We're going to get into that in just a minute. Let's roll the clip.
In the Commonwealth, drivers in 25 of our 67 counties have to get annual emissions testing for their vehicles. Well, now there's an effort at the state capitol to eliminate that. Harry Murphy's here to explain. Harry.
Alicia, the state Senate approved a bill earlier today that seeks to eliminate emissions testing across the state. Supporters of the bill say it's an important move to protect consumers. Supporters of the test cite environmental concerns.
We talk about affordability often in this General Assembly. This is one distinct measure that we can lean on to help with our residents in the Commonwealth. Again, this would eliminate emissions testings in all counties.
Republican State Senator Wayne Langerholk wants to ban emissions testing in all of PA's 67 counties. He's been trying to get this over the hump multiple times in the last few years.
Senate Transportation Chairman Wayne Langerholk.
I don't think it serves any legitimate purpose.
On Wednesday, finding support from some of his Democratic colleagues.
We have more hybrids and EVs on the road than ever before, and manufacturers continue to find newer, better, more efficient ways to reduce emissions. This bill will save vehicle owners money in their pockets from an outdated, archaic emissions testing program.
There are currently 25 counties in the Commonwealth that require residents to get emissions testing for their vehicles. That test costs drivers $40. Boscola says $40 too much.
And while 42 counties and never have to deal with this requirement at all, the people I represent are still being asked to pay every year for a testing program that, by the data, serves virtually no purpose.
But the state disagrees, at least for now. The Commonwealth says the emissions inspection program was customized to, quote, meet specific regional air quality issues and improvement goals, while focusing on customer convenience, unquote. Adding, quote, a great deal has been done to improve air quality in Pennsylvania. However, more vehicles on the road and more miles being traveled are offsetting this progress, unquote. Langerholk's bill passed today with Democratic support. The bill now heads to the State House. Similar pieces of legislation have been here before and failed, but we will update you as this story unfolds. Live in the newsroom, I'm Harry Murphy, ABC 27 News.
Thank you, Harry.
What'd I tell you? It's a losing proposition for Democrats. They know it now. They know that they are going to lose not just money, but power. And when I told you it's never had anything to do with your health, it's never had anything to do with making the environment better. It's always come down to money and power, and that's it. They don't give a shit if there is a friggin' cloud of smog hanging over the city, as long as they're in charge and in office. And when that became threatened, as it's starting to happen in states like California, I'm going to get into a video on that in a minute. You're about to get your first Republican mayor in the city of LA. Make that make sense. And you're going to get a Republican governor. And you're going to see sweeping changes in that state. The emissions testing, smog testing scam. Look, I'm not saying it. The Democrats themselves are saying that this is an outdated system. It serves no purpose except to cost the citizens in their state money. And you want to know one thing that costs citizens money? You know what those citizens normally do? They vote to not cost them money. And the Democrats know that. They know right now that gas prices are so high in some places because of these bullshit standards that they have on fuel and everything else. And these carb-approved states. Like, I knew that the dominoes were falling and that they were fucked. When the Durango came back out with the Hellcat and the Ram came back out with the V8, and people were saying, oh, it's not going to get approved. They're not going to be able to have those in carb-approved states. And I watched 45 days, 60 days later, all of those states said, no, we want it. Because here's the thing. It's not like the Dodge base is so huge that it's freaking out state senators and shit. But you have to think about this. The average citizen doesn't call their congressmen or their state senators. And when you get 10 phone calls from people that are pissed because they can't buy a car because of some arbitrary bullshit in their district, oh yeah, the state senators, they are 100%. 10 phone calls to them count as 1,000 constituents. They don't play. When they see that, they go, oh shit, we got 10 calls about this shit today? Oh yeah. Yo, hit up whoever our state EPA is, make that shit approved, because we're not doing that. And the Democrats are now seeing that it's going to cost them power in state houses and governorships across the country. across the country. They're losing seats. They're losing mayoral elections. They're losing governorships. They're losing state assembly seats. All for this bullshit arbitrary test that does nothing. Yeah. Now, environmental groups are going to come back and say, oh, well, there's more cars on the road now and more miles being driven. It's not 60 times more than it was in 1986, so please miss me with that bullshit. Yeah, because it takes 60 vehicles from 1986 to equal the emissions of one vehicle produced today, or produced since 2012. 1986 to any vehicle produced after 2012, it would take 60 vehicles to equate to one. Yeah, there's not 60 times more cars on the road, so please miss me with that bullshit. Emissions are going down for a reason. Better technology in the car, better systems in the car. These tests are no longer required. They're an arbitrary bullshit system that allow these politicians to get more money in their pocket to spend on other pet projects. And don't get it twisted. It's not like the politicians want to get rid of their pet projects. So they just, to them, the little bit of money that comes in from SMOG is not worth them losing their power, their seats, and their influences in the state. That's it. That's it. Because if they weren't at risk of losing their seats, this wouldn't be coming up. They wouldn't be supporting it. They'd be 100% against it. But damn, that didn't even take long. I literally got that video done this morning, and then I see the thing from Pennsylvania. And this is after. Now, I was asked when we did the interview with these two different Pennsylvania state senators to wait to publish that video, but now I can go ahead and get that ready to go because I think you guys are going to enjoy that conversation. And the same thing for the California Assemblymen. They want me to wait until after the primary for governor. So that's coming up here soon. So those videos are already filmed. The conversations have already happened. So you will get to see those here soon. And I still have a U.S. senator that is trying to get me, is trying to have a conversation about emissions testing and a bill that's pending, I believe from the state of Alaska. So stay tuned for that. And I'll let you guys know if anything else changes, you know I'm going to talk about it. But this one right here, you know I had the Birdman hair rub on it, right? Put some respect on my name, damn it. I'm just kidding. You know I got to be petty, man. But you know how the dick riders go, man. Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. Remember, we're gonna have to put them shirts back out. I think they're still on the merch store, but I'm gonna have to put those back out. Dick riding is not a form of transportation. Stop dick riding. As always, stay petty, my friends.